My name is Jim Sellers. I'm a plaintiff's trial attorney who practices in Oregon, Washington, and I'm going to try and answer some questions for you that I have clients ask me. Pay money to reimburse amounts that your own insurance company paid pending the resolution of the claim against the party who caused the injury. So that's one of the obvious things for which there's recovery. If it's an auto accident, your car's been damaged, you can obviously recover for that. And in cases where liability is cleared, usually those amounts for the loss or damage to the car are paid very shortly after the collision occurs. Another factor for which people can obtain compensation of the claim is if you lose time off work. And so what we call wage loss is an element of what you can recover money for to reimburse yourself for your loss. And in collecting for lost wages, sometimes you've already taken vacation time when you're off work because of your injuries, or you got taken sick leave. In presenting the claim, we ignore the fact that you've been paid vacation time or sick leave and recover the money for the time you've been off work, even though you're paid during that period of time for vacation and sick leave. And the reason for that is the vacation and sick leave belongs to you and doesn't belong to the insurance company for the person who injured you. And so we collect that money, and sometimes some portion of it or all of it has to be paid back to an insurance company under a disability policy of insurance that paid some of those amounts. But in any event, that's a big item we recover for. Another item we recover for is if there are friends, family, and others who have provided service to someone who's injured that they can't perform for themselves, such as mowing the lawn or doing the laundry or cooking meals, we can recover for the fair value of those items. Those types of items, let me mention two other things. One is if you're going to have to require medical treatment in the future, we can recover for that. And if your ability to earn a living has been impaired because of your injuries, that has to be estimated, and there can be a recovery for that. In cases where people have been killed by someone else's fault, and we bring a wrongful death case, we submit a claim for what the person would have earned over their estimated working history of their life, and we subtract from that what they'd have probably had to pay out of their pocket for living expense, and then we reduce the resulting sum to present value, and there is a recovery for that in death cases. And all those kinds of damages are called economic damages. There are other damages that we refer to as non-economic damages, and those are generally for intangible things. And those intangible things are pain, suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. And you are entitled to recover for those items, and most often that involves considerably more money than the economic damages. It varies from case to case. Now, one misconception that you see on the internet and you hear people talk about is that there's some factor such as 3 or 4 times what your medical treatment cost is the amount that by which you can recover for non-economic losses, such as pain, suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. So in other words, if your medical expense is $10,000, you can recover between $30,000 or $40,000 in damages for pain and suffering and loss of enjoyment of life. That is a gross misconception.